All right. Good morning. So just to complete the data structure parts two, I previously sent out the video for um data structure part one yesterday. So um I have to deliver this so that it complements the previous one, so it makes more sense to you. All right. So on today's class is going to be kind of brief because most of the things have been discussed all yesterday. And we're looking at dictionaries. So, like I said yesterday, dictionaries are usually key and value pairs, right? So they come in pairs. You have the key and the values. So to every key, there's a value assigned to it, and to every value, it has its corresponding key. And then we also look at sets and their operations. So when we talk about sets, we are looking at uh, a container that accommodates unique values, right? So in sets, one of the unique characteristics of a set is that, or one of the distinct characteristics of a set is that it allows just unique values um, and in itself, right? So let's quickly dive into what dictionaries are. So it's being defined as a dictionary in Python is a collection of a key and value pairs. So it's as simple as that. A dictionary in Python is defined as a collection of key value pairs. So I usually liken this to the normal conventional dictionary we have, which has to do with the word and the meaning, right? So I liken the keys to be the word, and then the meaning or the definition of those word, or the what gives expressions to the word that you are looking out for in your dictionary as the values, right? So it makes more sense when you liken it also to as variable and value. So when you have a variable name, let's say name, and the name actually in the real sense is John, right? So you realize that that name John, it's giving, or it's making more sense to the expression name. So it's telling us what value that name carries, right? So each key in a dictionary must be unique. So this is um uh, uh these are the key parameters we need to take note of. The first thing is that in the dictionary, the key must be unique, right? And it is immutable. So it is immutable. You cannot change a key once it is once it has been initiated. So you cannot change the key. And then these are examples of data types you can use for a key. The first is a string. So we can use a string for as a key, right? And then we can also use a number as a key, and also we can use tuples. So all these usable data types are data types which we cannot mutate. Remember when we talked about tuples yesterday, they are immutable. So because we cannot alter them, we make use of them to represent our keys, or we can use them when we are trying to set up keys for our dictionaries. So, and then our values can be in form of any data type, right? So values can be any data type. Reason being that it has to give more explanation or give more expression to the key which you have initiated. So very quickly, we'll try to create a dictionary here. Like I said, we have to go fast on this so it complements the other video. So creating a dictionary, the first thing is to assign the dictionary name. So I have a dictionary name here known as student. And here, having initiated this dictionary name, student, Arial So I have it to be equal to, right? So one thing I didn't mention, the dictionary is enclosed with a curly bracket. A curly bracket. This is it now. This guy. This guy is what dictionary uses. So this curly bracket, once you see it, you know that this guy belongs to a dictionary. But it doesn't just end here because set as well makes use of this curly bracket. So when you have a curly bracket and then you have um, keys and values, right? So I'm coming for to this explanation. What I said first was we create what? The dictionary name being students, right? And then we now have the initiation sign being equal to then our curly bracket open and close, right? So when you open and close your curly bracket, wherever you type into this curly bracket, remember I just tapped on the enter key, so as to give us the beauty of what we're looking for. So we have the first name, the first key, the first key. So the first item that comes before a column is known as the key. So here we have name to represent the first key, and then we have John Odo to be um the value for this key. So if you look very closely, you will see that I have name to be this guy, John Odo. So once John Doe rather, once I have the name, and then the next thing that comes in is a column. So that column demarcates between the key and the value. So it's just like saying a name is equal to John Doe, right? But in this case, because we have equality sign here that shows us an assignment of students being equal to this dictionary. So here, when we come into the dictionary itself, we have to represent it with a column, right? So the name is being assigned to, or rather, John is being assigned to this name here, right here. So that is how um, dictionaries are created, right? So remember, mind you, the first thing is you create your dictionary name, being a student here for this instance, and then we have the assignments operator being equal to, and then always initiate your curly brackets, and after that you can now try to see how to bring in the values, the keys and the values into the dictionary. So let's progress very quickly. We have a dictionary here that tells us who a student is, right? So we have the name. So we tell us the name of the student, John Doe. And then we have age, saying that the person is 21 years. And then we have courses that the person is undertaking, right? So we have maths, we have physics, and that is all. So we can run this code. When we run this code, sorry, let me interrupt this guy so we start afresh, right? So when, oh, what the hell is going on? Okay, sorry, it has to be a restart. All right, so we run this code now, right? It has been saved as one. And then when we rerun this down, I want to try to access it. Remember, you can always access just the students, right? You can access the entire you can access the entire student to be this, right? So you see name, right? You see this guy, age, you see your course. So now look at this. We have a list of the courses, right? This list is accommodating the courses that the guy is taking, right? So we can access each of the values in this particular dictionary. Let's say, for instance, we want to pick out the name of the person, right? So this is how we do it. You will let's do away with the print function for now. It's a very easy one. So let's do away with that. So we have students, open bracket. Remember, when we talked about indexing yesterday, I made mention of the fact that when you're indexing using the index number, so the first value will be 0, the second will be 1, 2, and as it increases from left to right. But then for dictionary, for you to access a value, you have to call on the key that bears that value. So this is what I'm saying. So I need to know the name of the student, right? So I will now say student, open and close brackets, then the key identifier, which is name. And then if I run this, so I should be expecting what? John Dewey, right? So John Dewey represents the name and the represents the name of the user which we are working with, right? So we can also add, okay, let's try to replicate this to access other parameters. Let's see, we can access other parameters using this particular okay. So let's see the courses this guy is doing. So we have maths, physics, right? So how about I want to pick just I want to pick the name, the key rather. So let's see what will happen. So we want to access the first row. So we have here to be 0. Let's see what should happen. All right. So we have a key error now. So this is an indicator that we cannot operate dictionaries using their index values, right? So we cannot do that using index values. So we have to go back to using the name, the key, to access each of those values. So because I've used the key here, courses represent maths and physics, right? So it will display for us what courses the person is undergoing. And also on the run, we can as well add new keys and values to our existing dictionary, right? So I have my existing dictionary to be what? Students. Remember, we just created this dictionary and it's known as students. Let's see. Let's try to see what is here. Okay. So we have students. These are the details in this dictionary, the name, the age, and the courses. So right now, we want to add grade to what the student's details entails. So we have here, this is how to add items to already existing an already existing dictionary. So you call on the dictionary name students, open and close a bracket, a square bracket. Remember, a square bracket is used to access, is used to add, even when we're dealing with even when we're dealing with data structures part 1, realize that when we needed to access using each of those index values or index numbers, we made use of the square bracket. So here we want to add, right? So we can make use of this guy. We have the key, whatever comes into the square bracket beside the variable name or the dictionary name always represents the key, right? And then the value here represent the values that will give expression to this particular key, right? So if I run this guy now, I should be expecting it to have been added to our already existing dictionary. So let's try to access this dictionary again in line. Mind you, look at the output here in line 7. It's having name, age, courses, and then we decided to add grades to it. So let's see what will be displayed. We have name, we have age, we have courses, and then we have grade, right? So it means that we've been able to add grade to the portfolio of this particular student. And then we can as well add other values to or we can as well update the values, right? Mind you, we said that dictionaries keys are unique and immutable. We did not say dictionaries itself are immutable. So if dictionaries itself were immutable, we wouldn't have been able to see how to update this. But because it is not immutable, we can update our dictionary. So this is it now. For instance, the person has added one more year to his age. So we can always update this guy by saying students, the same pattern, just like we did for grade, students, open and close bracket, age being equal to 22. So what this does is that it will go to the already existing dictionary, the age in the already existing dictionary, and override it with this current value. So because Python works with the current value and variable that you update it with, so it will override the previous value and then update it with this particular one. So let's run this and let's see our updated version. So we have our age being changed to what? 22. And then we can remove keys and values. We can as well remove keys and values from our dictionary, right? So let's look at it very quickly and see what can be done. We have this guy. All right. So remember yesterday we talked of how to remove items from our data structures. We talked of dot remove. We talked about dot pop. We talked about there's another one we talked about. So if you don't remember, you go back to the video. You will see there are three major types of functions that we can use to remove items from our data structure. So we're going to apply the dot pop, and whenever you use the dot pop, if you don't indicate for other data structures, just like list and our tuples, if you don't indicate the index value, you realize that dot pop will remove the last item in your data structure. That's for list and for tuples. But for in the case of dictionaries, we are making use of the dot pop. When you make use of the dot pop, it will include this guy. You have to include the key you want to remove, right? So if I run this guy, I should be expecting it to display this and at the same time remove it from the list, right? Sorry, remove it from the dictionary. So why is displaying it here is that it is telling you that look, this particular values I'm showing you here are not going to appear anymore on your existing dictionary. So just in case you're not sure that you wanted to remove it, you can always bring it back, right? So that's why it has to pop it up and show you, look, these are the guys I'm removing, and this will be your updated dictionary, right? So also, we can also as well iterate. Remember, when we're talking about loops, just like the for loop and the for loop and the while loop. So we can apply the for loop in this dictionary where we call the keys and the values together to show us how they should be presented. So in this kind of case, we can liken this to when we are trying to design a data frame, right? So all of this will make sense when we begin to do data analysis. So if you look at this, I said for key and value in student.items. So your dictionary, your Python already knows that in a dictionary, there's always a what? A key, and there's always a what? A value. So this already exists when you have items inside of this student. So just in case you don't have any item, it will not run, right? Being that it wouldn't have anything to display for us. But because we do, we will have to include what the dot items, open and close our bracket. This open and close of bracket, remember we're talking about functions. There are types of functions that we don't need to include the argument inside of it, right? So that's why those items are open, right? So there's nothing inside of that item. It means that whatsoever is and the key and the value should be displayed. We are not restricting the items that needs to be shown, right? So if we run this here, we'll be having name to be John Odue, and then we have age to be 22. None is the objective age. The grade is now A, and the courses has been removed. All right, that is the most we can do for dictionaries. So when we begin data analysis, I will show us more about dictionaries and how to use it effectively during data analysis and data science. So let's move ahead. I have sets and their operations. So we say that a set is an unordered collection of unique elements. No two elements can appear in a set. Let me say it again. No two elements of the same can appear in a set, right? So if I have a set and then I want to include, let's say for instance, I have a set of integers from 1 to 5, and then I still want to include another 1 to 5 into that. It will not work. It will only display the first 1 to 5 because its element has to be unique, right? So sets are useful for eliminating duplicate entries. So for instance, you're working on a data and you have a particular column that has um uh duplicates, right? So those columns have duplicates. You can as well set up those you can as well subject those columns to becoming a set. By so doing, all your duplicates will be eliminated. And performing mathematical set operations like union, intersect, and differences. So just like the normal mathematics we did in the high school, we'll talk of union, talk of intersection and differences. So we can make use of sets to solve problems related to that area. So how do we create a set? Remember, must always have your variable name, which is your set name. And then let's see. Oh no, that shouldn't come up. All right. So let's see here. We have fruits to be our set name. We want to create a set of fruits, right? And then we have this to be apple, banana, and cherry. So let's try to ascertain if this guy is gonna only produce the unique value. So we need to include two banana, like we have banana, and then we want to see if what this guy will output for us. So if you look very closely, it will output banana, cherry, and apple, and it doesn't take any order. It's only do it with respect to how it should be. So it doesn't take any order. You can run this over and over and over. So it depends on you, right? So it doesn't take any order. So I can decide to erase this guy, and then we rerun this and see what will happen. It still gives us banana, cherry, and apple. So it doesn't take any order. It's very unordered in its dealing. So we already ascertained that we had two bananas here. So let's redo this. We have banana, and then when we are running this guy, it's only outputting banana once, and then cherry once, and apple once. So that is how a set works. So, but we can add elements to our set using the keyword add, right? So this is how we add fruits dot add. When it comes to dictionary, this is not the convention for it, but for sets, we say that we use fruits, then dot add, then what you're adding should come inside. That is the value, or rather, the fruits you're adding to that set will now come inside, right? Then you're printing the fruits. So let's see if that fruit has been added. So you see it here. Orange has been added in no order. So it doesn't take any order, right? So we can as well remove elements with the keyword remove. Remove. So if you are removing an element, this remove, and it will remove what is here. So if you run this, your banana is gone, and you're left with cherry, orange, and apple, right? That is that for that. Okay, so mathematical operations. Remember, I told us that we can use this guy for mathematical operations. So mathematical operations will be the first set has values from 1 to 4. The second set has values 3 to 6. So let's see how we can work with this guy. Sorry, please. So I have print A union B. So for you to have A union B, this is the operator you use, your upright slash, right? Your upright slash. Sorry, kind of sneezing this morning. All right, your upright slash. So let's run this. It will be having the whole number in A and B. So remember what union does. Union brings in the entire numbers your into your unions set. And then for intersection is A, then and B. So intersection only picks the values that are in set A and also in set B. So if you run this, it will only output for us 3 and 4. 3 appears in set A and set B. The same thing is applicable to 4. They both appear in set A and in set B. So the difference, let's look at the difference now. A minus B being the difference. So if you run this guy, you realize that if you want to look very closely, you see that the difference is 1 and 2, right? The difference in set A and set B is 1. So what that implies is that what values are in set A that are not in set B? So how about if we do difference in, okay, let's go this route. Let's say, no, I need to still have this cell so we can uh, know what we are doing, all right? It's been a while I haven't interacted with this such kind of maths. All right, so let's see. Okay, so all right. So I think my explanation was correct. Just wanted to confirm. So for difference AB, it will output the values that are in A that are not in B. While the other way around, B minus A will output for us values that are in B that are not in A. So that's for our set. And mind you, because set can be, we are 30 minutes gone already. Wow, this ought not to be this long. All right, so I was saying that sets can as well be used for when we are trying to contain values that we don't need duplicates, just like days of the week and months of the year, right? So that will help constrain the appearance of two or more values inside of a set. So I have an exercise here. Why I usually give this exercise, this is because I don't give you assignments. So I feel you should go through this exercise, and if there are these are the additional challenges. You try to modify the program and then see how you make it up, how you optimize it, change some things to suit what you want. But this for this program, for this exercise rather, it's a count word frequency, right? So write a program that takes a string as an input and counts the frequency of each word using a dictionary. So this is it now. The first step to this is a text. So the first step is to split the text into words. So if you have this text into words, we'll now have initialize a dictionary that will store the word's frequency, right? How many times that word appears in this text. That is what we mean by the frequency. So, and then the next thing is for you to iterate through the list of words. So for word in words, right? You try to make all the words to be in lowercase so that you don't have any form of case sensitivity. And then if word is in words free underscore frequency, right? Word frequency plus 1. So if I have the word here more than once, it means that I should do what? Increase my frequency plus 1. Else, let the word frequency remain 1. Then step 4 is what? Print the word frequency for word in slash count or comma count in word frequency dot items, print word and count. So if we run this guy, you see that data appears twice. We have data here, we have data here. It appears twice. And then we have uh science appeared just once, and then is appears twice, amazing appeared once, and appeared once, analysis appeared once, fun appeared once. So you may want to modify the program, sort the dictionary, and by word frequency in ascending or descending order, and then write the outputs to a file, just like we have been doing. So this brings us to the end of data structure. And we left with just a video to complete this week, so we wrap up for next week. So let's see how it goes. Do have a beautiful day, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to reach out to me.